Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Neon Garten. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $10 or so. There is a demo, so if you like what you see, you can try the game before you buy it. It's not early access, it's just a simple, straight release. And I was going to try and come up with some lengthy explanation for this game, but it's a lot more simple than it first appears to be. According to the Steam store page, it's a minimalist cyberpunk city builder inspired by Islanders and Luck Be a Landlord. And for those of you that don't know what Luck Be a Landlord is, it is a slot machine game where you have to pay rent every week. And depending on how you draft your slot machine picks, you'll get different amounts of money, different synergies give you different money, that kind of thing. Well, in this game, you're going to be doing something similar to that. You've got a tax deadline. You have like 7 turns to pay this much money, this much tax. If you don't pay that tax, you lose. So it's up to you to draft one of 3 buildings every turn and slot them into the grid in the most efficient way possible to earn the most money. Now, don't worry if you're worried about, oh gosh, there's so many buildings, I don't know if it's going to be more advantageous to put this over here or over there. Whenever you select a building, you can hover it over a spot and it'll tell you exactly how much money that's going to earn you, which is great. And once you pay your taxes, you're given one of 3 perks to choose between. So that further introduces some chaos and allows for some pretty cool, unique builds, because at first it's just residential and bars and parks. And that's how I kind of made my money. I just kind of centered around making a bunch of parks, putting them all together, and I got this really cool perk that sort of duplicates all the income from these parks in certain ways, like unlit parks. And I just focused on that, and I made so much money in the beginning. But then I started unlocking new things. There's fancy apartments now instead of basic apartments, and there's penthouse apartments, and so your drafting pool becomes a lot bigger. And as I said, there are other considerations. There's other tags that you have to look for. There's lit buildings, unlit buildings, there's residential, commercial, industrial, there's illegal buildings. So you kind of, at least in my opinion, you kind of have to stick with 1 or 2 strategies and not diversify too much because your grid is fairly small. Now, to be fair, whenever you create a new game, there was 3 different choices I had. One was a narrow grid, but a tall grid. One was a balanced 4x4x4, something like that. There was 3 different grid variations that I could choose between. And so if you prefer to build a certain way, you could do that. There's also multiple difficulty levels as well, like different difficulty settings. There's chill, there's creative, there's more difficult modes. So what you see is what you get. The gameplay loop is pretty monotonous, and I don't know how to say that in a good way. It's repetitive. It doesn't, what I was doing a half an hour into this was the same exact thing I was doing 1 minute into this. It was draft a building, find a place to put it in your grid, and then let the day pass by clicking the button below. And then on the bottom left, you can see, what your nightly income is, what your total taxes due are, how much time you have, that kind of thing. And you can use your mouse wheel to easily change between the layers so you can kind of see what you got going on. And of course, again, it gets a little bit more complicated as the building gets, as your grid gets more full, because you've got more things to consider, more synergies, more adjacencies. Adjacencies, by the way, are not only diagonal, but they're also layered diagonal. So up, down, left, right, and diagonal in all directions, including up and down. So adjacency is a lot more than just vertical and horizontal. It also is, it goes up and down the y-axis as well, which is great. I gotta say, I really like this game, and there's no reason not to try the demo if you like what you see. That way you can determine if you like it enough to pick it up. But I recommend it. For what it is, it's simple, and it still engages my brain a little bit. I never saw a way to move a building once I placed it, but there is a hack system that you can enable, and instead of re-rolling all three of your building choices, you can like delay this building for a while, keep it on the store for a while until you're ready to use it. Another one like gets rid of it for a length of time, but keeps the rarity so that the replacement keeps the rarity, that kind of thing. So there are different options to mitigating the RNG element to this. But even still, as a casual game, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. I've played it on the easier difficulty setting, and I just had fun just messing around with it. It's really well put together, and I like the graphics and the music too. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.